Welcome back to Talk Tickers, the show where we break down earnings calls so you don't have to.
That's right.
And today we are diving deep into Simon Property Group's Q3 2024 report.
Ooh, yeah.
I'm excited for this one.
Me too.
Simon Property Group, they are a REIT
That's right.
that owns some of the most premier shopping malls,
Premier, yes.
outlets,
Upscale.
mixed-use destinations.
Mm-hmm.
And in fact, they're an S&P 100 company.
That's right.
So very impressive.
Big player.
Yeah, big player in the space.
Mm-hmm.
In this deep dive, we're going to unpack the company's financial performance,
Yeah.
their future plans, and what they're saying about the retail landscape as a whole.
State of retail.
State of retail. Okay, so first things first,
Yeah.
financials.
Let's do it.
Simon had a really strong third quarter.
Really strong.
Like
Really, really strong.
they did.
Yeah.
Their real estate funds from operations,
Yeah.
or FFO,
Right.
per share jumped almost 5% year over year.
It's impressive.
Now, for those who might not know,
Yeah.
FFO is a really crucial metric
Very, very important.
for REITs like Simon,
Right.
and kind of gives us a better look at their operating performance
Yes.
than something like net income would.
Exactly. For a REIT, you want to be looking at FFO.
Okay.
It takes into account things like depreciation, which, doesn't always reflect the actual cash flow
Right.
that a REIT's generating.
So 5% jump in FFO
Yeah.
is really telling us their core business is healthy.
Very healthy.
It's thriving.
Yeah.
Even with all this economic uncertainty
Exactly.
that's going on. Now, one thing I found really interesting
Yeah.
was their take on consumer spending.
Oh, yeah.
Because, there's this whole thing about like, oh, a recession's coming.
Yeah.
But it seems like consumers are still spending.
They are spending, and Simon is seeing growth.
Yeah.
It's remarkable. Retailer sales per square foot were up.
Oh, wow.
And even more impressively, total sales volume saw an even bigger jump.
So even if individual shoppers are pulling back a bit,
A little bit.
Simon's properties are attracting more people overall.
More people overall.
And that is great news.
That's great news for retailers because that kind of foot traffic is gold.
It's gold.
Yeah.
So now let's take a look at occupancy.
Okay.
Okay. Simon's malls and outlets are sitting at a whopping 96.2% occupancy rate.
96.2%.
That's wild.
Try finding an apartment with that occupancy rate.
I know, right?
A full percentage point higher than it was last year.
Wow.
So that, coupled with their leasing momentum, they signed over 1,200 leases just in Q3.
Wow.
Gives Simon some real negotiating power with retailers.
Yeah, because retailers want to be where the shoppers are.
Exactly.
And it's clear the shoppers are heading to Simon's properties.
Mm-hmm.
Now, speaking of the future, Simon has some exciting developments on the horizon.
Yes, they do.
They're not just resting on their laurels.
Not at all. No complacency here.
No complacency.
This past quarter saw the grand opening of the Tulsa Premium Outlets in Oklahoma.
Nice.
And they unveiled a major expansion of the Busan Premium Outlets in South Korea.
That's awesome, yeah.
Global footprint.
Global footprint.
But that's just the tip of the iceberg.
Really?
They have a $4 billion with a B-dollar pipeline
Wow.
of development and redevelopment projects in the works.
That is a serious commitment.
Serious commitment to growth.
To growth, yeah.
And it's not just about building more traditional malls either.
Oh, really? What else are they doing?
They're thinking bigger. Think mixed-use projects, residential developments.
Interesting.
They're creating vibrant destinations, not just shopping centers.
Yeah.
They mentioned a planned redevelopment at Fashion Valley in San Diego.
Okay.
A $500 million project combining retail and residential space.
Wow.
This is a long-term vision that goes beyond just building more stores.
Absolutely. And I think it ties into something that the CEO, David Simon, said that really stood out to me.
Okay.
He talked about focusing on merchandising mix. Yes.
Rather than simply aiming for the highest rent per square foot.
That's a key insight.
What does that mean?
It means they're not just filling space, they're curating an experience.
Okay.
It's about having the right mix of retailers that complement each other.
Okay.
Create a destination that attracts the right customers.
Yeah.
Thinking strategically about the overall shopper experience.
Yeah.
Not just maximizing immediate profits.
That makes sense. Now that brings us to Simon's digital play.
Okay.
Shop Simon.
Yeah.
They recently rebranded it from Shop Premium Outlets.
Right.
To encompass all their properties.
All the properties under one umbrella.
Which tells me they're serious about their omni-channel strategy.
Absolutely. This is a clear signal.
Yes.
That Simon is embracing the integration of online and offline retail.
Okay.
Think about it. They have a massive email list
Oh, yeah.
of over 25 million shoppers.
That's huge.
They're integrating their loyalty programs into the online platform.
Okay.
That is a huge opportunity to drive sales,
Yeah.
both online and in their physical stores.
So they're meeting the customer wherever they are,
Wherever they are.
whether it's online browsing at home or
Exactly.
strolling through a mall on a Saturday afternoon.
Yep. A seamless experience.
Now, it hasn't been all rosy for Simon.
Right.
There's one area that's been a bit of a drag on their earnings.
Okay, what is that?
And that is their other platform investments.
Yes.
Or OPI.
OPI.
These are investments
Right.
in brands like Forever 21
Yep.
and JCPenney.
Yeah, those haven't been exactly thriving lately.
Yeah, they face some headwinds,
It's a tough environment.
especially as lower-income consumers are hit harder by inflation.
Right?
It's a tough environment for those discretionary spending brands.
Yeah.
Now, Simon's CEO did hint at some positive announcements on the horizon for these businesses,
Okay.
but we're still waiting for the details.
We'll have to wait and see.
We will,
Huh.
but I think this highlights
The importance of diversification.
diversification is key.
Yeah. Even a powerhouse like Simon needs to navigate the changing retail landscape carefully.
Carefully.
But their core business is strong.
Very strong.
Development pipeline is robust.
Robust.
And their omnichannel strategy is evolving.
It's a company to watch.
It's definitely a company worth watching.
Agreed. Now, before we move on, let's take a moment to acknowledge...
This is not financial advice.
But it is fun to speculate.
So let's indulge in our favorite segment.
Yes.
Outrageous,
But plausible.
but plausible trade ideas inspired by this earnings call.
Okay, I have one that's a little out there.
Okay, I'm all ears.
What if Simon decides to spin off Shop Simon into its own independent, publicly traded company?
You're thinking a pure play e-commerce company,
Exactly.
leveraging Simon's massive reach and established brand recognition.
Brand recognition, exactly. It could be a way to unlock even more value from this platform,
Yep.
especially as they continue to grow their online presence and attract even more retailers. It would be a bold move, but we've seen bolder things happen in the retail world.
It would definitely be a game changer. All right, folks, that's a wrap on part one of our deep dive into Simon Property Group's Q3 2024 earnings call. Stick around for part two, where we'll uncover even more insights from this fascinating call.
Fascinating.
Welcome back to Talk Tickers. We're continuing our deep dive into Simon Property Group's Q3 2024 earnings call.
You know, one of the things that really stood out to me was their emphasis on merchandising mix.
Yeah.
It's more than just jargon. It reflects a nuanced understanding of the evolving retail landscape.
Yeah, David Simon, the CEO, really emphasized this idea of curating the right blend of retailers instead of just chasing the highest rent per square foot.
Right.
But what does that actually look like in practice?
Well, it's about creating a synergy between different types of retailers. So imagine a high-end department store next to a trendy boutique,
Okay.
perhaps with a popular athleisure brand nearby.
Yeah.
They're attracting a diverse range of shoppers,
Right.
but they're all drawn to a certain level of quality and experience.
So it's not just about the individual stores, it's about the ecosystem they create together.
Precisely. And one clear example of this strategy in action is Simon's focus on luxury brands.
Oh, yeah.
They signed 75 new deals with luxury brands just this past quarter.
75.
That's a significant shift.
That's huge.
Yeah.
It seems like they're really targeting those higher-end shoppers who are less likely to be swayed by economic downturns.
Exactly. These are the shoppers who are still spending even when times are a little uncertain.
Right.
By attracting these luxury brands, Simon is creating an exclusive and aspirational atmosphere in their malls,
Okay.
drawing in even more of those high-spending customers.
That's like a self-fulfilling prophecy. The more luxury brands they attract, the more attractive their properties become to other high-end retailers and shoppers.
Absolutely. And it also speaks to the evolving role of physical retail. Even in the age of online shopping, people still crave those in-person experiences.
Right. It's about the excitement of discovering new brands,
Yeah.
the social aspect of shopping with friends, the tangible experience of seeing and touching the products.
Exactly. It's not just about acquiring goods. It's about the experience, the social interaction, the feeling of being part of something.
Yes.
Simon understands this,
Yeah.
and they're creating destinations that cater to these desires.
And this kind of seamlessly ties into their digital platform, Shop Simon.
Yes.
They're not just building these physical spaces, they're also creating that bridge between the physical and digital world.
They're creating a truly omni-channel experience. You can browse online, discover new brands and products, and then head to the mall to try them on, make a purchase, or even just pick up an online order.
And don't forget, they have that massive email list of over 25 million shoppers and integrated loyalty programs.
Huge.
That's a powerful tool for driving engagement and sales, both online and offline.
It's all about meeting the customer where they are and providing a seamless and personalized shopping journey. But as we mentioned earlier, not all of Simon's ventures have been performing as well.
Yeah, their other platform investments, or OPI,
Right.
have been a bit of a mixed bag. Investments in brands like Forever 21 and JCPenney have faced some challenges.
It's a reminder that even a giant like Simon isn't immune to market forces.
Right.
These brands, which cater to a more budget-conscious consumer, are particularly vulnerable to economic headwinds like inflation.
Yeah, it's definitely a concern.
Yeah.
But the CEO did hint at some potential positive announcements regarding these businesses.
We're all ears waiting to see what those developments might be.
Yeah.
Maybe a strategic partnership, a brand, refresh a shift in their target market.
Yeah.
We'll have to stay tuned.
It'll be interesting to see how they address these challenges. One thing that's been on my mind is the impact of rising interest rates.
Okay, yeah.
How might this affect Simon's ambitious development plans?
That's a great question. Higher interest rates certainly make borrowing more expensive, which could potentially slow down their $4 billion development pipeline.
Yeah, those large-scale projects might become less appealing if financing costs become too burdensome.
Right, but here's the thing. Simon has a strong balance sheet
Okay.
and a history of prudent financial management.
They're not exactly reckless spenders. They have a lot of cash on hand, and they've been proactive in refinancing their debt at lower rates.
Exactly. So they're not flying blind into this economic storm.
Right.
They have weathered similar challenges before, and they seem well equipped to navigate the current uncertainties.
Plus, let's not forget their core strength. Their properties are in high demand. That 96.2% occupancy rate is a testament to the desirability of their locations.
That's right. And their focus on merchandising mix suggests they're thinking long-term, creating destinations that will continue to attract shoppers even in a changing economic climate.
Yeah.
So while there are definitely challenges ahead, I'm cautiously optimistic about Simon's future.
Agreed. Yeah. So far, we've uncovered quite a few key insights from this earnings call.
We have. We've seen their impressive financial performance with a 5% jump in FFO, their commitment to creating a diverse and engaging merchandising mix, and their embrace of the omni-channel retail experience through Shop Simon.
We've also discussed the challenges they face with their OPI portfolio and the potential impact of rising interest rates. But overall, it paints a picture of a company that's adapting and evolving to stay ahead of the curve.
Absolutely. Now, as much as we love diving into the details, we also love to have a little fun.
That's right. It's time for our favorite segment.
This is not financial advice.
But it is time for another round of outrageous but plausible trade ideas.
Okay.
What do you have for us this time?
Okay, here's a thought. What if Simon, with their focus on luxury, decides to create a separate REIT?
Okay.
A spin-off focused entirely on their high-end malls.
Wow, a luxury REIT. That's a bold move.
Imagine a portfolio consisting of properties like the Galleria in Houston, King of Prussia in Pennsylvania, and Roosevelt Field in New York. Think about the appeal for investors seeking exposure to the most affluent shoppers and the most prestigious retail destinations.
It would certainly be a niche market.
Yeah.
But hey, there are REITs for everything these days.
Right.
And with Simon's track record and expertise in this segment, it could be a real game changer.
Welcome back to Talk Tickers, the podcast that breaks down these earnings calls so you don't have to.
That's right.
And we are wrapping up our deep dive into Simon Property Group's Q3 2024 report.
I feel like we should be getting paid rent for all this mental occupancy in Simon's properties.
Right.
We're spending so much time thinking about it.
We're practically living there.
We should open a Talk Tickers pop-up shop there. Financial literacy meets high-end retail.
I like it. But seriously, one thing that has really struck me throughout this whole deep dive is Simon's resilience. They're facing a lot of the same headwinds as other retailers, but they seem to be navigating these challenges.
With confidence.
With confidence and with a clear vision.
Yeah. They're not afraid to address the tough questions.
Not like the performance of their OPI portfolio.
Right. And instead of shying away from those challenges, they're actively seeking ways to adapt and evolve.
Right.
which is what we see with their omni-channel strategy in Shop Simon.
Exactly.
It really makes you think about the future of malls, doesn't it?
It does.
Will we all be shopping in the metaverse someday?
Right. Surrounded by virtual storefronts.
Yeah. Or will we always crave that human connection?
Yeah.
The energy of a bustling shopping center?
I think it'll probably be a blend of both.
Yeah.
A seamless fusion of those online and offline experiences, much like what Simon is building with Shop Simon.
And one thing's for sure, malls aren't going anywhere anytime soon.
No, they're evolving. They're innovating, and they're finding new ways to stay relevant in this rapidly changing world.
And Simon seems to be leading the charge.
Yeah, they're ahead of the curve.
So as we wrap up this deep dive, we would love to hear from you, our listeners. What are your thoughts on the future of retail? What stood out to you from this earnings call? You can head over to our website, leave a comment, send us a tweet.
Yeah, we're all ears.
We want to hear from you.
And of course, a huge thank you for joining us for another Talk Tickers deep dive.
But before we sign off,
Oh yes, there's one more thing.
you wouldn't be a Talk Tickers episode
My
without...
favorite segment.
This is not financial advice.
But it is time for one blast,
Outrageous.
but plausible trade idea.
Inspired by Simon's earnings call.
Okay,
Okay, lay it on me. What do you have for us?
hear me out on this one. What if Simon, recognizing the growing demand for unique experiences, partners with a major entertainment company to create immersive themed entertainment destinations within their malls?
Whoa. That's interesting. So you're thinking beyond traditional retail, like bringing in entertainment complexes, maybe even interactive attractions.
Exactly. It could be a way to draw in new crowds,
Yeah.
especially younger generations, and create a destination that's truly unforgettable.
Okay.
So imagine a mall where you can shop, dine, and experience the latest in immersive entertainment all under one roof.
I mean, it would be a bold move, but it aligns perfectly with Simon's focus on creating destinations and curating experiences.
Right.
I mean, they're already integrating things like restaurants, fitness centers, even residential spaces into their properties.
Exactly.
So why not take it a step further?
Why not? And who knows, maybe we'll see a Talk Tickers podcast studio pop up in one of these entertainment destinations someday.
Now, that's an idea I can get behind. All right, folks, that's a wrap on our Simon Property Group deep dive. We hope you enjoyed this journey into the world of high-end retail and evolving consumer trends.
Until next time, keep those trade ideas flowing and happy investing.